The tragedy of Emlyn Hughes began when he collapsed at Newmarket Races in 2003, unaware that a brain tumour was silently growing inside his head. The man who had lifted European Cups, captained England, and became a beloved TV star would soon face the battle of his life. But how did a beloved legend of Liverpool and England fall into drink-driving, match-fixing allegations and bitter teammate feuds? Born in Barrow-in-Furness, Hughes's journey began with rejection. His hometown club refused to give him a trial, forcing him to start his career at Blackpool instead. There, he played alongside England internationals Jimmy Anfield and Alan Ball, showing early promise that caught the eye of one of football's greatest managers. In 1967, Liverpool's Bill Shankly paid £65,000 for the 19-year-old, a massive sum at the time. Shankly's belief in Hughes was unwavering. After signing him, they were stopped by police due to a broken taillight on Shankly's car. When asked who was in the car, Shankly pointed to Hughes and declared, "There sits the future captain of England." Hughes made his Liverpool debut on March 4, 1967, in a 2-1 win against Stoke City. His wild energy and commitment quickly endeared him to fans, earning him the nickname Crazy Horse after a particularly rough tackle on Newcastle's Albert Bennett. While his first 4 seasons at Liverpool didn't bring major trophies, Hughes was becoming the cornerstone of Shankly's plan. The 1970s would transform both Hughes and Liverpool into dominant forces in English and European football. Under Shankly and later Bob Paisley, Hughes helped Liverpool secure 4 league titles, an FA Cup, 2 UEFA Cups, and most memorably, the club's first 2 European Cups in 1977 and 1978. His individual brilliance was recognised when he was named Footballer of the Year in 1977. His versatility proved invaluable. He played in midfield, at left-back, and eventually settled in central defence. By the time he left Anfield in 1979, Hughes had racked up 665 appearances, placing him 4th on the club's all-time list. On the international stage, Hughes earned 62 caps for England after making his debut in 1969. He captained his country 23 times and scored his only international goal against Wales in 1972. Yet, despite his long service, Hughes never played in the final stages of a major tournament. He was an unused squad member at both the 1970 World Cup and 1980 European Championship. But beneath the success and the beaming smile lay troubling conflicts. The most notorious began in the summer of 1973, when Shankly stripped Tommy Smith of the Liverpool captaincy and gave it to Hughes. This decision sparked a feud that would never heal. Smith, a Liverpool local who had been at the club since 1960, felt betrayed. "It was my club. I'd been there a damn sight longer than him," Smith later said. "Why should I let this two-faced little so-and-so spoil my football life?" The hatred was intense and personal. Smith admitted, "I hated scoring for Liverpool because Hughes would come up and congratulate me. I hated him." He claimed Hughes had few real friends at the club, saying his only mates were straight out of a vending machine. Smith's dislike extended to Hughes's personality, his chattiness, his alleged tightness with money, his need for attention. The animosity played out in shocking ways. After Hughes was injured in one match, Smith reportedly sprinted past him to congratulate Chelsea's Ron Chopper Harris for the foul, saying, "I could get to like you, Harris." When Hughes was bloodied by Leeds United's Alan Clark in another match, Smith allegedly remarked, "Maybe that Clark's not such a bad bloke after all." There's even an unverified claim that Smith physically struck Hughes during a game at Manchester City. Despite the personal hatred, both players generally maintained professionalism on the pitch. As Bob Paisley noted, neither of them let their personal problems affect their games, but the damage to their relationship was permanent. Then came a shocking allegation that would surface decades later. In his 2008 autobiography, Smith claimed that before a crucial title-deciding match against Arsenal in May 1972, Hughes told him that Arsenal players were willing to throw a match for £50 a man. According to Smith, this suggestion disgusted him and cemented his hatred for Hughes. Liverpool drew the match 0-0 and the title went to Derby County. While the allegation remains entirely unproven and was published after Hughes's death, it cast a shadow over his reputation. After leaving Liverpool in 1979, Hughes moved to Wolverhampton Wanderers. His impact was immediate. In his first season, he captained Wolves to victory in the 1980 League Cup final against Nottingham Forest. This triumph completed his set of domestic honours and remains Wolves' most recent major trophy. That same year, Hughes received an OBE for his services to football, but his post-Liverpool playing career was winding down with spells at lower league clubs, including an unsuccessful stint as player-manager at Rotherham United. Hughes took over at Rotherham in 1981, and his tenure started promisingly. The team narrowly missed promotion to the First Division in his first season, but things quickly turned sour. By March 1983, with the team struggling near the bottom of the table, Hughes was sacked. Rotherham were relegated 2 months later. Bob Paisley offered insight into why Hughes might have struggled as a manager. His love of the limelight, his enjoyment of praise, and his need for an audience might have been ill-suited to the often solitary and demanding nature of management. After retiring from playing in 1984, Hughes seamlessly transitioned to a media career, becoming even more famous to the wider public. His most prominent role was as team captain on the BBC quiz show A Question of Sport, where his enthusiastic personality and infectious laugh made him a household name. His time on the show produced memorable moments, including famously putting his arm around Princess Anne, breaking royal protocol. In another gaffe, he failed to recognise a mud-splattered Princess Anne in a photo, mistakenly identifying her as male Irish jockey John Reid. Hughes also worked as a pundit for the BBC, covering tragic events including the Heysel Stadium disaster in 1985 and the Hillsborough disaster in 1989. Later, he was a sports pundit for Yorkshire-based station Real Radio, where colleagues remembered him as a complete one-off whose strong opinions generated significant listener reaction. But controversy followed Hughes even in his media career. During the civic reception celebrating Liverpool's 1977 European Cup win, he took the microphone and led the crowd in a chant of "Liverpool are magic, Everton are tragic," injecting unnecessary partisanship into what should have been a unifying celebration. Some critics also pointed to his decision to name his children Emlyn Jr. and Emma Hughes as evidence of narcissism. These moments added to the perception that despite his public charm, Hughes could rub people the wrong way. Then, in August 2002, Hughes faced public shame after being convicted of drink driving. On his 55th birthday, after an afternoon at York Races, police stopped him driving a friend's car a short distance along a public road. A breath test revealed an alcohol level well above the legal limit. In court, his solicitor explained that Hughes's brother, who had suffered a stroke in 1997, had suddenly become unwell. Believing it to be a medical emergency, Hughes decided to drive the short distance to their hotel. The magistrates acknowledged these circumstances, but still imposed a 12-month driving ban and a £400 fine. Hughes expressed deep remorse, stating, "I am absolutely disgusted with what I did. I abhor drink drivers." But the conviction marked a regrettable episode late in his life. The final chapter of Hughes's story began in the summer of 2003. While attending Newmarket races with his family, he unexpectedly collapsed. Although he recovered quickly, a second incident followed when he fell off his bicycle 3 weeks later. medical examinations revealed devastating news. Hughes had glioblastoma multiforme, an aggressive form of brain cancer. He underwent surgery at the Royal Hallamshire Hospital in Sheffield, followed by intensive radiotherapy and chemotherapy. Despite these efforts, the tumour proved resilient. A second operation left him with permanent damage to his left side. Yet throughout this gruelling period, Hughes displayed remarkable courage and positivity. When told about the grim survival statistics, his daughter Emma recalled him saying, "Oh, right. Well, I'll be the second person to survive then." His family noted that the illness made him even kinder and more thoughtful, and he never complained or succumbed to self-pity. He remained determined to live life as fully as possible, setting himself the goal of attending the 2003 Rugby World Cup in Australia, which he achieved despite his failing health. But his condition deteriorated significantly in 2004. Reports indicated he was left virtually unable to walk, and his eyesight was severely affected. Emlyn Hughes passed away on November 9, 2004, at the age of 57, dying peacefully at his home in Sheffield, surrounded by his wife Barbara and children. News of his death prompted widespread grief and tributes. Former A Question of Sport colleague Bill Beaumont remembered him as a lovely and enthusiastic bloke. Liverpool FC held a minute's silence before their next match, with a spokesman lauding his boundless enthusiasm, 100% commitment, and unrelenting passion. Today, Hughes' legacy lives on. A statue stands in his hometown of Barrow-in-Furness, and another at Liverpool's Anfield Stadium depicts him being carried by legendary manager Bob Paisley. His family continues to honour his memory through fundraising for brain tumour research. But the question lingers, was the man behind the smile as golden as his medals? The bitter feud with Tommy Smith, the unproven match-fixing allegation, his drinking lapse, and claims of self-centeredness reveal a more complex figure than the universally cheerful persona often presented. Yet, despite these controversies, Emlyn Hughes' indelible mark on English football remains secure. His contributions as a player and captain during Liverpool's golden era were immense. His transition to television broadened his appeal, making him one of the most recognisable sporting faces of his generation. The crazy horse, who galloped from rejection in Barrow to the heights of European glory, who captained club and country with distinction, who brought laughter to millions on television, and who fought his final battle with characteristic courage, deserves to be remembered, complexities and all, as a significant, influential, and remarkable figure in the history of British sport.